Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the technical trader at thetechtrader.com. It's Tuesday, the 8th of September, 9/8/15, and these are the charts of the day. We had another big day on Wall Street, up nearly 400 on the Dow. Very special day on the NDX and S&P. Strong movement, and at the end of the day, the last surge that it had actually took out some key resistance. So we're going to be very interesting to see how we go forward. Lots of stocks to look at today. This doesn't look like much when you look at the chart on Akiba. Akiba, the stock after hours exploded on positive drug news from the 7 3/4 range all the way up to the 13 range, pulled back, then went to kind of a little double top around 13.45. Let's look at the significance of that on a daily chart. This blows through the July high and takes us all the way up near this spike high in March, which was 1390. The high before that was up around 15.5. I suspect we make a move on that tomorrow, especially in lieu of the daily chart, which shows it to be very strong and having closed in the evening hours at the highs for the day going away. So very, very strong move. Fundamentally, I heard a very strong story. And so let's see what we get tomorrow. Keep an eye on AKBA. Up next is Ardelyx. I'm liking the way this is looking in here. Take a look at the gliding pattern, the breakaway gap, the run up to resistance, the pullback, and now we're right back through a triple top today in this 20.20 range by jumping to 20.99 and closing at 20.46, up $1.57. That was an 8.3% gain. Not a lot of volume, but the biggest in about 3 weeks, second biggest in 2 months. So it tells me this stock may be on its way to higher levels. And at this point, I wouldn't even be shocked to see it get into the mid-20s. I target the 25-26 zone up here. Up next is Beat. Now Beat we've been talking about for a week or two. Still looking good, up another 51 cents or 3.27% today. Mine was a solid 887,000 at the second biggest in a couple weeks, so looking like it wants to blow through. There's resistance up here. Taking a look at the pattern going way back. You can see that back in that zone is where I had my line drawn, and we're right there. We get through that, you can see a quick move to 21.5 3/4, maybe even mid to high 20s. So this one has momentum. But can it get through here without a pullback? That's what we'll be having to watch. Technicals look great, but it's a little extended short term, having gone from about 10 3/4 to 16. Now, that's easy for me to say. Dermaria, VERM, you can see has beautiful patterns involved with the run-up to pullback, the run-up to pullback, and now a little bit of a wedge that broke out today. Mine picked up, not a big, largely big volume traded stock you can see, but watch the double top. If it gets to 27 3/4, I suspect that picks up. We go to 30, and then 33, 34. DVAX, consolidating for the last couple of months and moved up another 168 or 6% today. Mine wasn't very strong, but the technicals look very good. And if we could just get it through the 31 zone, I think the stock's going to fly. 33.5 and 38 are targets. EFOI just keeps on coming. It's made another new high, 28.75. Although it did back up 2 points and close up 88 cents. A report showing it was still strong volume and it's still in an uptrend. Looking at the overall structure, it may be a little extended. That could be why the profit taking set in. This is the post-IPO highs for it. Oh, that's not true. High since 2008. So a 7-year high. Next support, next resistance and target would be upwards of, believe it or not, mid-40s potentially on a longer-term basis up here. FGEN, nice day today. 307 higher, 13.25%. Nearly a million traded, biggest volume in 3 weeks, the second biggest volume in 2 months. And it's pushing through resistance, which comes in around the 26 cent range, closing 26 to 24. I think we should at least try 27 3/4. We may do that tomorrow. But the top of the channel and the angle of ascent tells me very distinctly a possible move up towards 30. FOLD, nice pop today, coming through the declining tops line and out of that pattern that looked like a head and shoulders at one point, having broken back up through it, and now may be on its way with short covering it, 7 days to cover. The immediate target would be a test of the highs around 1880. Get through that, we can see that stock in the 21 zone, and eventually mid to high 20s. HRTX, awesome. Popped another 383 today. That was a 10% gain. Volume was 2.2 million. You can see that the stock looks like it wants to head higher, doesn't it? Mid-channel target 47.8. Beyond that, mid to high 50s. iTech had a little pop late in the day today, up 92 cents. I'm going to watch this carefully because should it get through 14.35, that's the number I'm looking at. I'm expecting to see 16.5 and then 18.5, 3/4, maybe 19. JetBlue, one of the better looking airlines today, made another new high, jumping $1.15 or 4.85%. Right in here. My target is 28.75, 29. Builder LGHI's reported fantastic numbers last week, and the stock just continues to push higher, up another $1.49 or 5.5%. It's at the top of the long-range channel, but it's arbitrary because I drew it in that way. This could be a blow-off, or could find problems right here and pull back. La Jolla Pharmaceuticals, huge day, up 9.20 or 26.5%. Just exploded. Once it broke through here, pulled back intensely successfully, it was off to the races. From yesterday's low of 31.32, today's high at 44.39, 13 points since yesterday morning. An explosive type move, and the volume for this stock was big at 891,000, targeting the 55.60 zone eventually here. LPC had a breakout as well. You can see popped from the 16.5 to 18.60 range, closed only 6 cents off the high, up $1.50, almost 9%, and a million traded, the best in 3-4 weeks. So it looks to me like we're headed to the top of the channel. My target's 23.4 zone. LXRX took a little pop and came out across resistance today. The way I've drawn it there, and it gained 80 cents or 6.5% on almost 900,000. Looks to me like they want to retest the highs. We can get a run through 13.88. We can see that stock move to 16.17 range. MPO, one of the few junior roles acting great today, exploding for 40%, 7.5 times more volume than average. And you can see that it punched up against this range and closed right there. A good close for it, high end of the range. My target next would be upwards of about 8.75 at this little minor double top right there. OHRP with a pop today, 55 cents or almost 19%. 4.3 million, the biggest volume in about 3 weeks, the second biggest volume in 2 months. Right at resistance, we can get through today's high at 361. We're looking at 440 and then 470. RDUS may have come across this declining tops line today. It certainly went through the 10 and 21 day moving averages. Now we can get through the 50, which comes in around 69.5. We can get the stock to test 72 and then 79.80. Our EPH also broke through resistance today, popping $1.16 or 8%. Mine was not big. It's not a heavily traded stock. But I wanted to show you the pattern because if this goes, you can see the stock in the mid-high 20s. SUNE up now 9 days in a row, folks. 9 days. This reversal day with big volume was huge. It's been up every day since. Today it took out the declining tops line. It took out a couple of resistance levels. One resistance level. What I want to see if they can follow through 13.30 and get up to 16.25 and then 17.75. Those are your targets. TRVN still looking good. Another slight up day, but consolidating what I would consider a bullish little wedge right there within a rising channel. And if we can get through here, we could see the stock at 13.5 pretty quickly. And that's it for tonight, everybody. Have a good evening. See you tomorrow.